In this video, we're going to talk about absolute versus relative references. This is important when you are entering a cell value or a range into a formula. Absolute versus relative values. In this particular example, I've added an item count drop down and a total cost formula. So what the formula does is it multiplies I3, which is my price per pound. Remember, I chose coconuts, it was 50 cents price per pound, and multiply that by I5, which is the item count. So whatever my price per pound and however many pounds people are buying. I could change that. I could say, let's talk about melons, and if they bought 3 melons, then it would be $2.25. Pretty nifty. But here's where a problem can arise. Let's say, for whatever reason, I want to copy this formula down to this cell. So I'm going to Control C and Control Z. Hey, how come I got nothing? That's because the references in this formula were relative. That means that if I move this formula somewhere else, it's going to say, well, I'm looking here and here to multiply. Now that you move me down here, I'm looking somewhere else. Let's see, where am I looking? I6 times I8. It moved me down, moved all my references down. That's not what I want to do. So instead of having these plain old relative references here, I'm going to put a $sign in front of each of my letters and numbers, row numbers and column, row numbers and column letters, or whatever. So it's the same formula and it works just as well. But now, if I copy it down here, it's using absolute values. That means they don't move. They're going to be the same here as they were there. So if I'm moving stuff around and I don't want it to use values that move for references, then I'm going to use absolute, which puts the $sign. And you can mix and match if you're going to be, if you want the column to be absolute and the row to be relative, you can put the $sign in front of whatever part of it you want to keep absolute versus relative. Okay, so that's absolute versus relative references.